You're ready, I believe. We're going to transition into something slightly different now. You've been hearing, of course, about deep tech and all the different flavors for the last 40 minutes or so. And it doesn't matter which way you look at it, AI is going to make a profound change in the world we live in. I think we understand that. And there seems to be two camps. There is the camp fear, oh my God, Skynet is coming. And then there is camp optimism. We could do so much more for the world, with the world, if we understand how to use AI in a really good and interesting way. And whether you're in camp fear or in camp optimism, it doesn't really make a difference, because right now we're at the beginning. This is the time to pioneer, particularly as startups. You know, this is where you can explore all the unexplored territory, because we really have no idea what AI is going to look like in 5 and 10 and 20 years from now. Have you ever actually taken a moment to understand what AI means? Artificial intelligence. What does that really mean? So intelligence, we understand, right? It's how humans' brains work and think and what we do. But artificial, if you go back into the history of that word, it comes from the word artifice, to replicate. And so the question I always have when people are talking about AI is, whose intelligence or what type of intelligence are we trying to replicate? And I think that's, I hope, a really good intro into our next guest, Konstantin from Delphi, to talk a little bit about how AI and humans, and now he's giving a small chuckle. Am I screwing this up for you? Can we really, truly understand human thinking using AI? Sir, welcome to stage. You can give him a round of applause if you like. And you're not Konstantin, because I've got two names on my, so
join me.
We're going to rewind that. So welcome on stage, Andrejs from Tilde.
Yeah.
And
hello.
you're gonna enlighten these folks. Well, it says it right here on your slides. The next challenge, AI that understands us. I'm actually going to take a front row seat because I'm really curious to hear what you've got going on. Your slide deck, 30 minutes on the clock. You've got the clicker.
Yeah, great.
Ready to go.
So, you're very welcome
Enjoy.
to join.
Thanks.
Yeah, sveiki, laba diena, tere. Hello, it's really great to be here because, yeah, actually you are very lucky to be in technology business at this time, because it's a next wave of paradigm change in technologies, and we have witnessed several of these waves. It was computing revolution with personal computers, when it was internet age starting, when mobile revolution, when cloud technologies, and now we do witness the dawn of AI. We are at the beginning of the AI era. And this is a fantastic time because, yeah, if you manage to surf on that wave, you can get a lot of fun and enjoyment, and also to raise high. But this wave can also be very destructive, and it's changing old waves, old businesses, and it's also actually very easy to get lost due to always inflated our expectations and undelivered promises. So do we really understand AI, and can AI really understand us? And as always, is with rhetorical questions, the answer is both yes and no. Yeah, we all can experience AI in our everyday life. It's part of products what are in our pockets, and it's a big part of our popular culture. And so many people do not have clear understanding about AI, and in particular, how we can use that. We see, yeah, okay, Google is very successful, building AI in their phones, Apple Siri, fantastic. Yeah, but Amazon Alexa, oh, very good, 15% of households in US already have those. But how about me? How about myself? And if I am in tech business, how I can use AI? And let me share experience of our company, what we do in Tilde, finding the way how AI can help us and can help the society where we are living, and also how can we make this world a bit better place. And this is why I'm sharing this example, because yeah, you are very welcome to learn about these opportunities and using these technologies and approaches what we did, but also this is about finding your place in this AI world, finding your distinctive role where you are passionate with. It's not just about money, it's about where to invest, not just your money, but your enthusiasm, your heart, your life. And our role at Tilde is to make sure that AI can understand everybody in this multilingual world. AI is developing so fast, and we have these fantastic global innovations, but those are accessible, and people can use those just in about 15 languages. And it's only a half of this global planet. We live in a very, very multilingual world, and the 50% of the planet population speaks in those other almost 7,000 languages. Of course, not all of these languages are economically viable, but there are about a couple of hundred languages with 1 million speakers, and these people also want to use these AI benefits. And these are not very well served by these big companies. And sometimes people say, oh, why do you bother with this multilinguality? Yeah, everybody just have to learn English or already speaks English. And in Europe, if we look at Europe, we do have 24 official languages in European Union, and 80 languages are spoken by quite big communities in Europe. And people may think, oh, everybody speaks English in Europe, but that's by far not the true. And surveys show that 42% of Europeans will never purchase products or services if they are not in the languages of their own. And yeah, as many startups, they first try to reach English-speaking market, and it's very, very crowded market, but actually there are a lot of opportunities in that other part of the world, but it's not so crowded, and there are empty gaps and people looking for solutions. And these people, it's more than 60% of Europeans here in Europe who do not speak English well enough even to hold a basic conversation. Yeah, we like figures and infograms and depictions, and I personally like very much this infograph by Twitter. And it resembles a European map. You may think, oh, it's a geographical map, but actually every color depicts the language of conversation on social media, the language of tweets. And you can see that we talk about global world, the global information society, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, we still live in very fragmented Europe, and also globally this map looks quite similar. These colors almost resemble geographical borders, and that fragments and splits markets and populations. And from other side, that's an opportunity to come with the products and solutions and to address those markets, and maybe to replicate solutions that work very well in English, Spanish, or Chinese-speaking markets, and to provide those, for example, for Baltic markets. Yeah, our languages may seem small on this global scale, but actually these are official languages of EU. These are very developing and thriving economically also communities. If you look on the interesting aspects of our languages, these are very complex languages. So in English, there are about 500,000 word forms used in contemporary texts on online. In Latvian and Lithuanian and in Estonian, our languages are morphologically very rich. We do have these language variations and word forms that makes these languages difficult for large players like Google to address with standard algorithms that they do apply for English and French. But what opens opportunities for smart guys to apply AI algorithms. And this is just an example, because most of European languages are in this row of unserved and relatively complex languages where you can put your know-how to make technologies better. We started to do that years ago. And the first approach before AI was, putting together software engineers and language experts and trying to code and depict language variations and language specific into rules. Hundreds and then thousands of rules, thousands of code lines. And we managed to release our first machine translation system using that approach, but we were not happy by far because it was very expensive and frankly, it was not good at all. Because language is so complex. It's such a powerful instrument that we do have, and it's ambiguous, it's context dependent. Words can mean, the same word can mean many different things. And you cannot describe it with rules. And this is a good thing for us, for humans. It's not so easy to replace our cognition, our language ability. And language is very essential, actually, because we build language models. We think through language. Language determines the way how do we think. So what to do? And AI advent provided a much better solution. And you all know why AI is thriving now. It's because of these neural network algorithms, machine learning algorithms, that are able to learn from data. Those were developed with algorithms in 70s and 80s of the last century already. But the computing capacities were by far not sufficient to make these millions and billions of computing cycles that are needed for these applications. And there was not enough data also. Now we do have a lot of data. We do have smart algorithms and we do have GPUs. Thanks to those guys who get bored at playing video games and use the GPUs for something better. And GPUs are the power to fuel these algorithms and to work with data. And AI provided a fantastic breakthrough in language understanding. And when you feed human language data, and in machine translation, human translations, if you have a lot of translations done by humans, machines can learn and find millions and millions of those relationships and parameters and consequences and build, so we call them deep neural network models that and actually teaches a machine how to translate. And we can do that amazingly well. So, and you can see that with Google Translate. Google implemented this translation technology, and you can also see that these technologies work much better for English, French, Spanish, if you try Chinese as well. Not so good for smaller languages like in this region. So, and this is opportunity for us. But to be first in this game, we also have to have state-of-the-art know-how how to use these techniques. And for that, we do have a strong research team. And this is my suggestion with you. Build a good cooperation with researchers and close ties with research community to grasp the very latest things that you can take into and implement into your products, and then to get this competitive advantage. AI techniques develop so fast, and you can easily be outdated by using last year's framework in neural network machine learning. And luckily enough, here in Europe, we do have different national, international mechanisms that help you and provide funding for this research cooperation. And for example, Europe is building the platform, call it AI for EU, for big players, for large institutions, for data providers, and for startups, so that you can get funding by applying with your ideas and to try and experiment to use that computing infrastructure, that data from the big companies, and to show your ideas in practice. For us, we switch from rule-based approach to machine learning, help it to advance machine translation on the level that was not possible even a year or two before. And that helps us to compete on the global scale. And people always ask, how about Google Translate? How do you compare? So we always do this comparison. And now it's easy to say, yeah, we are better. We do this evaluation all the time. And there's also a global competition. There's nothing better than to motivate your development than to participate in competition. And in with Olympic Games for machine translation, the European complex languages were put as a challenge for global players, including Google, Microsoft, and others, for the best machine translation, and we were able to win this competition for 2 consecutive years. And also we are happy to help global companies like Microsoft to improve their techniques, what they use in machine translation, and they also gave us this rare sign of recognition. If you translate, for example, from Latvian on Microsoft Translate, they put this, they said, actually we know we are not paying you enough, so we will put some recognition for your work. But this is about translation, to cross the language barriers with the help of AI. But the next level is to change communication from text-based, from pressing buttons and interface elements, to natural conversational dialogue kind of interaction. And for this, AI can help machines to understand what you are saying, to enable dictation, voice-based navigation, and by combining these techniques with AI-enabled language understanding, AI-enabled speech recognition, text-to-speech, to develop next-generation virtual assistants, what can be usable for many kinds of application. And Latvian government is showing an example how, actually it's a kind of a test bed, how to put that technologies in practice by integrating these language technologies into e-government infrastructure, to make e-government multilingual, to enable chatbots-based communication with citizen, government to citizen, and to advance next-generation interfaces. And yeah, actually I'm running out of time. In Europe, Europe is actually a fantastic place for specializing in few verticals in AI. In AI, another takeaway is you have to find your specialization. Everybody talks about AI, but you have to go into specialization. And yeah, multilingual techniques is one of those. And again, in public sector is helping to advance that. And we developed the machine translation and still actually develop it for the consecutive presidencies of Europe. And that helps politicians to see the value of AI and to support AI implementation and transformation. And here you can see Tallinn Digital Summit. AI was on one of the major topics discussed, and machine translation drew the interest from prime ministers and politicians, like a prime minister of Greek is learning about it, and some politicians said it's the first time they see something useful out of AI. It's of course exaggeration, but still. Yeah. Yeah, and example how Latvian government start to use AI, it's a business register. If you want to start business in Latvia, you can register your company and to learn how to do that by asking this chatbot Una, and she will be happy to help you. But today, I have a very special pleasure to announce the next advancements in application of AI to better serve people and users here in this region, in this multilingual world and in our countries. And I am very happy to invite on this stage Konstantin Kuzikov, CEO of the leading media in Baltic countries, Delphi, to announce our cooperation.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
I represent Delft. Delft is the leading one, the best one. We are working 20 years in this media, in this area, and actually more than 800 people monthly visit our site. We produce a lot of content, a lot of great content. We have awards and blah, 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 blah. We are the best one on this market. But the question is what we could go further with our audience, because we are not oriented only on the idea of reaching the biggest audience, but also on time. And for us, it's very essential to support our people, our audience, with different kinds of solutions. Today, at that moment, in Delft, we have 160 persons who are working and making great content. And a couple of weeks ago, when Tilde came to us, they advised me to hire one more person. And today, I would like to introduce you our new future employer, Laura.
Yeah, can you click, please?
Yep. And it's not working.
Moment. Oops, not this one. Now we have to switch screens. Yeah, because what we want to show you is a new feature, what we are working on to enable new experience for users.
Es esmu Delfi virtuālā diktore Laura. Sekojot mediju tendencēm un gādājot par lasītājiem interesantu, ērtu un ikdienā noderīgu servisu pilnveidi, Latvijā vadošais medijs Delfi kopā ar valodu tehnoloģiju uzņēmumu Tildi uzsāca sadarbību mākslīgā intelekta tehnoloģijās balstīta virtuāla diktora izveidē. Tā tapis pirmais prototips. Ziņu Laura, kura jau drīzumā nodrošinās iespēju Delfi lasītājiem noklausīties un noskatīties virtuāla diktora lasītas ziņas. Delfi un Tilde apvienojuši spēkus, lai jau tuvākajā nākotnē papildinātu satura patērēšanas iespēju klāstu ar ziņu Lauras ierunātām Delfi ziņām.
So what you just listened to is the first example of our text. Daily we publish more than 250 articles. Sometimes speed is just 1 minute, 2 articles per minute. And we can't just have a person who could make a voiceover. That's why this solution is very simple, but this is very essential, that text to speech is one of the things what we would like to invest this year. And it means that this year we could give opportunity to all our readers to listen to our news. And this is not the end, this is just the beginning. Because the next step, what we would like in future to see with the Tilde team, that Laura will become like personal assistant for using news content. When I'm saying that we are publishing 250 news per day, it's a huge amount, and just a person can't find sometimes what is the news very essential exactly at that moment for this person. And Laura could help them, the individual, to each from our 800,000 people to find the content that will be very essential, and this content could change this person's life. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Konstantin. And just a brief story. We have been developing this concept for quite a few years. Actually, it was back in 2011 during a brainstorm where nobody talked about AI yet, that we have to enter the area of new type of conversational interface and interaction with human face, human emotions, human language provided by AI. And at that time, technologies were not so advanced. We started with English, and we were amazed to see that our English-speaking assistant, Laura, whose purpose was just to keep conversation, not to be very informative, but tell a joke, answer to questions, how are you, what do you want me to do today, and so on and so on. More than 800,000 people talked with her. And that was a strong proof that technologies is not just about information. It's not just about getting business done. It's also about enabling social interactions and enabling social and also emotional experience. And through these virtual assistants, we are working in this direction. And when last year, early November, news media over the world published information about new development in China. The first news anchor for China, in China, talking in Chinese, the global news anchor first in the world, that showed that media is transforming, and we understood it's not just for Chinese. We need such technologies for our languages as well. And we were able, in a very short time, to replicate this model and to develop the first European news anchor. There's no news anchor for German, French, or even English, but we already do have this new news anchor talking in Latvian. And this is fully synthesized voice generated by neural network algorithms with the help of the legendary radio news anchor Sandra Glāzupa. She retired a few weeks ago, but she donated her voice, and her voice continues to deliver the latest news to our audience. And yeah, this is how AI can help in action in different applications, and in particular in media, and to help media to concentrate on the task where human intelligence, journalistic skills are important to provide you trustful and true information, freeing from the tasks like dictating news piece to enable audio experience. And I would like to say that our experience and my personal experience is that in technology field, probably many of you are here for money. I believe also for ideas. But it's not just money and ideas, but drive, innovation. It's also about passion. You have to put your heart in what you are doing, and then that really brings you to success. Maybe not immediate success, but over time you will feel that, yeah, you help it to make this world, these technologies, to be a better, more accessible, more usable, and to do something good for this world. And this was a first preview of our work on AI and this new Delphi news anchor. And you are very welcome to join us tomorrow at the Tilde Square on the next to this room. At 2 o'clock, we will have deep dive, and you can learn many technological and also business aspects of this application and inspire from that. Thank you very much.